Hi, my dear students. Today we will read our 11th chapter from page number 79, English 2 Literature. The name of the chapter is The Harp of India. Let's start the chapter. More than 175 years after his death, Anglo-Indian poet Henry Louis Vivian Dirozio is still remembered as the man who inspired the Young Bengal movement. So, the movement was there, that means some young people were there who protest some rituals against some rituals of that time, and they were inspired by whom? The Henry Louis Vivian Dirozio. The members of this movement were a group of radical thinkers who were thinking differently, who had a significant impact on the latter Bengal Renaissance. Renaissance means the birth of new thinkings. Okay, so they got a great impact on the birth of new thinking, which was the forerunner of the Indian nationalist struggles. Forerunner, that means they brought the idea of the nationalist movement struggle in India against the Britishers. Henry Dirozio was born on 10th April 1809. His father, Francis Dirozio, was a well-respected man in the Anglo-Indian community. Anglo-Indian, that means maybe mother belonged from here in India or father belonged from another country. He worked for the house of J. Scott and Company in Calcutta, now Kolkata, had his own property, a fairly large house, and educated his children in some of the best schools attended by Anglo-Indian children. So as his father was a wealthy person, that's why the brothers and sisters, and Dirozio also got good schooling. Francis Dirozio was of mixed Indian and Portuguese descent, while his wife was English. Okay, Francis Dirozio, that means his father was belonged to India and mother from Portugal. His original Portuguese family name was de Rosario, which he later changed to Dirozio. So later he changed his name. Little is known about Henry Dirozio's family, and it can be supposed that they had little influence in shaping his fortune ambitions. Rather, the shaping spirit for Dirozio was David Drummond, at whose academy he was educated from the age of 8 to 14. So, not his family, but from the David Drummond. From him only he got the influence of his Young Bengal movement. That this person, David Drummond, changed his life, changed his thinking, and Dirozio became famous among his followers in later life. Drummond was a Scottish poet who believed that opinions should be formed on the basis of science, logic, and reason, and not be influenced by authority, tradition, or any other dogma. Dogma means old belief. So, a person should have free thinking that based on what? Science and logic and reason. The years Dirozio spent at Drummond's academy were enough to school him in the classics and give him an understanding of the Western tradition. So from his academy only, Drummond's academy only, he got the thinking of Western traditions. While he enjoyed amateur theatricals and cricket and participated in other sports that boys of his age took pleasure in, Dirozio's chief delight was reading. So Dirozio was little bit different from the same age groups people. He got interest in reading only. He strove at understand the thoughts embodied in the works of poets, novelists, dramatists, and philosophers. So he got interested of these type of writings. Till the last day of his life, poetry and philosophy remained his passion. So he had great love for poetry and philosophy. After leaving the academy at the age of 14, Dirozio became a clerk in the same company where his father held a highly responsible position. On the same company of his father, he got the job. However, Dirozio was not interested in the drudgery of the desk, so he was not confined with the work of desk. He quit his job and took up another one in an indigo plantation in Bhagalpur, which was owned by his uncle Arthur Johnson. That indigo formation, indigo plantation was going on there at Bhagalpur. He got job there by his uncle's company, Arthur Johnson, whose name was. This was close to Janghira, a rocky isle in the Ganges, which was a favorite haunt of holy men at that time. So holy people were sitting there and making meditations, and in that time that place was famous for that. Once Dirogio saw a fakir sitting and meditating on a rock in the middle of the river, and the young man's imagination was fired. Imagination, that means Dirogio got his imagination after seeing the matter. What? The result was that the poem, The Fakir of Janghira, come from his mind maybe. The poem runs to 1,000 lines but tells a simple story. In full 1,000 lines, he delivered a simple story only. A young and beautiful widow, Nulini, is about to be put on the funeral pyre of her dead husband, a rich old man who she had been forced to marry. So it was the old ritual that at the if any lady's husband was dead in that time, on the same funeral pyre the lady has to give his life also. She is rescued by her former lover, who masquerades as a fakir, who lives as a fakir there, and his band of robbers. With the band of robbers there, the couple enjoys a brief idle on the island of Janghira, but soon Nolini's father kills the lover and the unfortunate Nolini kills herself. So Nolini's father was not at all happy with the matter, so that's why he killed Janghira, the lover of Nolini, and after that Nolini killed himself. Sati was one of the social evils that Dirogio fought against all his life, and he attacked the practice of sati in this poem. So this ritual was called, that we have mentioned before, that giving life in funeral pyre. So that was called what? Sati. And he was against the sati. Who? Dirogio. In 1826, when he was only 17 years old, Dirogio was appointed as a teacher of English literature and history at Hindu College. So Hindu College is very famous in that time also and now also. Okay. So he was appointed there as a lecturer of English. Now, Presidency University, Calcutta. In the few years he taught there, he altered the cultural map of Bengal. So, in these few days, he make a great change in the culture of Bengal. Dirogio's residence became a focal point for those who were eager to assimilate progressive ideas and explore their own cultural past, and for those who were not afraid to speak up against British abuse. So young people who have the lots of good ideas assimilate, gathered there with progressive, with the going on ideas there, and who are never getting fear against by telling against whom? The British rulers. But orthodox parents, orthodox means old thinking, those who have, the parents of students complained that Dirogio was corrupting the morals of the young, and he was forced to resign from the post. So the complaint came from the students' parents, okay, and Dirogio must have to resign from the post. Dirogio wrote a friend, what? That I should be called a skeptic and an infidel is hardly surprising, as these names are always given to those persons who think for themselves. Okay, so he was called with these names. You will get the proper meaning at the end, page number 83. Okay, so what? A person who disagrees with the particular claims. An infidel means a non-believer. So people are calling him in those names. In the 1820s, the major changes were taking place all over the world. With so much happening around him, Dirogio's questioning mind was full of radical views about religious bigotry, and he advocated reform. So Dirogio was not taking in the same way all the religious matters, and he tried to reform all the thinkings, all the matters in the society. John Grant, who was a scholar and the influential editor of the Indian Gazette, published some of Dirogio's poems. So it is clear to you. One of his most famous poems is a sonnet titled "To India, My Native Land." So for that Dirogio was famous. The sonnet, 14 lines poem, which begins with the famous address. Address means to the country, addressing some other person. What? My country, in your days of glory past, in your past glorious days, a beauteous, halo circled around thy brow. Halo means a glowing thing was circled that we are finding in picture of the gods. Though his poems have a flavor of English poetry, they constitute the first expression of Indian nationalist thought in English and reveal his deep patriotism. Patriotism of whom? Derozio's. These poems reflect his deep patriotism. Another sonnet, Harp of India, ends thus in this way. What? Harp of my country, let me strike the strain. Harp of my country, let me strike the strain. Strain means what? Tune. That means to tune properly, to tune, to put all the things in proper way. Derozio represented the first echo of the Western ideas that had begun to take root in the Indian soil. So Western ideas was growing in by the hands of Derozio in Indian soil. The harp is a Western music instrument and his country is India. How seamlessly the East and the West meet in a single line. This is what Derozio had aimed at. So Derozio's aim was that what? That to assimilate Western and India in a same row. That's why he wrote the sonnet what? Harp of India. Derozio launched East Indian, a daily newspaper for the Eurasian community. Europe and Asian people are in the same community, and exhorted his fellow Eurasians to unite and cooperate with native Indians to help with the native people, native Indians there. Derozio succeeded in his aim of lending expression to a distinctive Indian personality through English. He used Indian imagery, Indian mythology, Indian themes and sentiments, Indian beliefs, Indian cultural things. In one of his sonnets, he talks of the waters of Lethe, the river of forgetful, as per the Greek mythology. Okay, and his wish to escape from the fever and fret of life, and escaping from where? The problems of life there. Okay, so Lethe, the footnote is given there. You just follow it properly, my dear students. Wistful melancholy pervades most of Derozio's poems. Wistful means thinking, sad thinkings, pervades throughout the poems. Their themes are either death, freedom, patriotism, love for the transitoriness of life. That life is not permanent, for few days life, that means. In December 1831, at the tender age of 22, he died of cholera, which was then an incurable disease. So, with cholera only, he died at the age of 22. Derozio's genius and natural abilities were accompanied by that tenacity of purpose. Tenacity means what? The determination to do something properly. That steady application and determination which leads to success. And with all these things, he was going in the path of success. Derozio was diligent and active, and not a youth who could sit down to enjoy the breed of idleness. So he was not like the other young peoples. So those who were wasting their times idly with all the things. Now also, gifted and accomplished, a radical reformer and poet, Derozio is truly an inspiration to the young. So Derozio, then only, now only, and in future only, always will be the inspiration for the young people. Go for the word meanings properly from page number 83. I will also provide the PDF of the question answers of this chapter. Read properly again and again. Thank you, my dear students.